What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge the nightly 9:30 live show where we tell it like it is. Before we get started tonight, I think we have to talk about just some horrible news. Sooner fans, you guys that have followed Sooners for a while, know of Jimmy Wilkerson, and just hearing of his passing today is tragic. Coaching at Carl Albert, they're playing for the state championship tomorrow night. I just want to say, thoughts and prayers to the family. Just a horrible story that I heard in news, Jay. Just shocking.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad deal. I believe he was 43 years old, and then you got the game tomorrow. It's just sad. So yeah, prayers out for sure. I see a lot of people already maybe comment on that and stuff in here. So yeah, man, it's Friday. Did OU have a player in the portal today? Not yet, right?
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's just the talk of everyone that's going.
Yeah, nothing yet.
It's just the talk of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the news of the day for OU probably. First, you had Brent Venables meet with the media and some players as well, but you also had OU going after and getting a quarterback coach, which we all know that Arbuckle's the quarterback coach, but you also have this guy as an assistant who has followed him from Western Kentucky to Washington State and now to OU, which tells you it's almost like this is Arbuckle's guy. He likes having him around with him. This is a third stop with him. So John Kusieski coming over for that role. I think it's great. It's somebody he's comfortable with. He's coached some good quarterbacks. He's also been director of, I think, player personnel at different stops. He's also coached offensive line, running back. I mean, he's done a lot. He's been an OC for 3 years, I think, at East Carolina or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of the team, but he's done a lot. So assistant quarterback coach, to be accurate, that's right. He will be helping out. We all know who the true quarterback coach will be.
Yeah, losing wide receiver to Michigan, you're talking about the Indiana kid, McCauley. Losing wide receiver to Tech, losing lineman to Ohio. Look, I'm going to say this. The only one you're accurate on there, Jason, is the wide receiver to Michigan. That's the only commit so far. Now,
so far,
I think Virgil to Texas Tech, taking a visit there, the Rice lineman, yeah. But I'm going to say this to Jackson. I'm going to say this to Jason Becker. Once the portal closes, I'll let you know how much trouble I think OU's in. Right now, I'm going to wait because I don't know what the official number is that's in the portal, Jay. There are tons of guys in the portal.
There are a lot of guys in the portal. I do think – I don't know about the Rice offensive lineman other than the fact it sounded like he was going to visit OU today. I don't know if that happened or what, or if this is what you never know in the transfer portal is how much money is somebody else going to offer somebody. And things change on a dime because of that. So – we'll see what happens at the end of the portal stuff. There's a lot of guys. Yeah, Bauer Sharp went to LSU. I don't think anybody would pick that. After the game he had against LSU, would anybody have said he's going to end up at LSU?
Yeah, I don't know what they saw in that game, Jay. Michael Hawkins, yeah, I saw the interview with Hawkins, said that he wants to be the quarterback at Oklahoma. And right now he's about the only one on campus. So he needs to be saying that for sure. He was the best player on the field for LSU that night outside of Nussmeier, maybe. Can we sign players after the portal closes?
Yeah, here's the deal. The portal closes on the 28th. They don't start school till January. I don't know the exact date. Hunter can drop it in here.
Gotta have them in class.
The portal closing basically means you can't get into the portal. You just can't get into the portal. That's what happens when it closes. That doesn't mean you have to be signed by then.
I think the hub is being tongue-in-cheek here about Muddy. Bobby says he did not visit Oregon and Iowa, now involved, and it's just the biggest bag gets him at this point. You're talking about the Rice offensive tackle?
Yeah. Sounds like.
Yeah,
so
that is the name of the game right now, Jay.
The name of the game in the portal is you have to pay to get players. They're not just going to come to your school. People are entering the portal for different reasons. A lot of it, I think, obviously you have the NIL stuff, you have playing time, but for sure. The NIL, I mean, it makes a difference. You got to pay to get players. Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the show when we opened with it, but yeah, rest in peace for sure, Jimmy Wilkerson, man. Awful.
When will OU learn to stop grabbing bench warmers and tamper with the big programs and buy and steal their players?
Well, what I think is kind of funny though is there would be a lot of people, a lot of OU fans, if OU today would have signed the Rice guy, would have said, "Oh, come on, he's from Rice." But if Ohio State or Oregon and Iowa go after him, they're like, "Oh my gosh, we couldn't land him over those schools." Here's the deal: you got to go up. If a lot of schools are going after guys, you got to go win some of those battles, Jerem. You have to win some of those battles in the portal. You have to.
I don't foresee any world where Bauer Sharp is a beast, but that's just me personally.
I see that he could have a good year though, if in a good scheme. The scheme was bad. The scheme was bad.
Beast. Jen says, name of the game's portal. You have to get your target to get in the portal. You have to get your target to get in the portal. Are you saying you have to know who you're going to target in the portal? Maybe
the name of the game in the portal is you have to get your. Basically, if there's a guy you want, you have to go get him. I think here's the deal. If you want John Mateer, you will have to overpay for John Mateer. If you want the Rice offensive tackle, you're going to have to pay more than you thought you would have to pay. That's what happens in the portal.
And Jay, like I said last night,
you offer, and they offer, and then you offer, and they offer. You're going to have to go bigger if you want them. That's just the way it is.
And if you want to keep guys on campus, you got to go back to them and say, by the way, we got to up your pay too.
I agree. I know, Jerm. Yeah, you do.
I said that last night, and people didn't like that.
Now, why do you bring up stuff that nobody even argued about? That was not the argument. So just move on.
Bobby says Luke McClinko is on campus right now. Kenneth says, I'm pleading with the fans.
Oh, I think he's talking about some stuff on Twitter gets kind of wild. I think that's what he's probably talking about. There's some stuff on Twitter that's kind of ridiculous. I would agree with that some part. I mean, you see some stuff in your
real quick, Sooner fan. How can you say this? Well, I'm going to ask you this, Sooner fan. You say stop picking up non-Power 4 players. There's a reason they were playing at Power 4 schools. Okay, so Reggie Virgil. Don't say that OU missed out on Reggie Virgil. Don't say they missed out on the Rice offensive tackle. Don't say they missed out on him.
Dylan Graber.
You can't in the same sentence say, don't go after those guys, and when OU doesn't get them, say, well, they're going to the bigger schools.
Dylan Gabriel was a group of 5. He wasn't a Power 4 when he came to OU.
Fabetti didn't work out, but there are some non-Power 4 school players that can play. Randy Moss, everyone's talking about Randy Moss. He was one of them back in the day.
But I think there was some good news from Randy Moss today, I think, on his Instagram that he had surgery and everything. Yeah.
He did, yeah. I'm just saying you can't talk out both sides of your mouth, Jay.
No, but what all I'm saying is this. I think you have to look at the portal in a whole different aspect than high school recruiting. And the reason is this. You can pretty much throw relationships out of the way in the portal. You don't have enough time to build relationships in the portal.
You do in this case.
It's so quick. To me, it's okay. You got to go overpay. If you want players, if you want to really do the portal, you have to overpay. And you know what? It might be like Ole Miss. You go have all these guys in the portal you get, and you still get 3 losses, and that wasn't good for Ole Miss either. But I'm just saying, if you are wanting to get players in the portal that are good, really good players, you have to overpay. You have to.
Hey, but there is a relationship. There's a relationship connection when it's guys that you used to coach. For example, Brennan Thompson, Mississippi State. That's why that decision was so quickly. And I've got to say, Boomer 129 says Fabetti wasn't as bad as Peeps think. Go look at his PFF. It wasn't good most of the year from Boomer 129. The line was bad, and he wasn't one of the best ones on it. Chuck says, guys, be real. How many of you guys would come to OU in the condition of, well, it depends. Are they paying me really well? Hey, I want to say this. The talk of how bad the program is, in my opinion, isn't why people are deciding to go to schools. That's not why they're deciding to go there. It's money, 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 money. Give me the money. Show me the money. That's it, guys. It's not what's the program like. Come on.
Well, I mean, you could say, I just think when you're talking with portal, that's now. I did hear, I don't know, they didn't throw a number out there, but I think it was Kerry Murdoch this morning on the Animal talking about, he said if people knew how much money Texas threw at Michael Fasusi down the stretch, they would probably lose their mind. Now, didn't say the number. I'm just saying, I think they are, here's what I say, they are paying to get certain players. I just think when you get in this portal, maybe you don't want to spend this amount. Let's just use an example. The Rice offensive tackle, because he's a guy they're going after. Let's just say they got him at here and this is how much they want to spend. Well, if another team comes in and goes up here and you say, okay, y'all, they can take him, then you're going to lose them. That's what happens in the portal. You either have to go above and beyond. It's like an auction, man. It's like an auction.
And I agree with what Hub said, 10% program, 90% money. And Chuck, I didn't say I know it. I said I don't think any guy's looking at the school's record the previous year. I just don't. To me, that just, yeah, I do. Chuck, I do. Chuck, I think this is where the sport is at. It's not even an OU. Go look at, Georgia had 3 guys today into the portal, a 5-star and 2 4-stars. Just today on defense. This is everywhere. People are losing guys. People in the playoff right now. There are backup players in the playoff that could go play in the playoff. They may be in the national championship game, and they've already entered their name in the portal. So don't tell me records matter.
Hey, Boomer, I don't know what
if records matter and I'm on a playoff team, I'm not looking to go anywhere, am I, Jay?
No, but I don't know what Boomer's talking about, saying you guys are turning on to get off my lawn, guys. What's he talking about? How am I doing that?
Who said that?
Boomer 129. I don't know what he's talking about. What's he saying?
I'm not even going to put the comment up there because I don't like how it was worded.
I've said that you have to. I said you have to pay. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean, how's that get off my lawn? Daniel says I can give you a personal list of guys I know that would come to you right now. We don't pay attention to the record. That's it. It's more in this day and age, specifically in the transfer portal. You're just going to go pay players to come. That's why a lot of them are getting in the portals to get paid. I mean, and you know what happens, I think, is you get it kind of becomes rumblings out there. Okay, because you can name Ole Miss, Texas, LSU, you can name a few more schools. Everyone says in the portal, those are the ones paying the money. And you can see it by the visits they get. They get a lot of visits from portal guys because you know why? The narrative is that they're going to pay up. So I'm going to go visit them. If anything, it's going to make my pay go up.
Yeah. And no, Eric, they still have soul, mission, and culture. And in my opinion, Jay, this is my personal opinion. I think the soul mission stuff is almost always more, in my opinion, more so for high school recruits and families than it is guys out of the portal. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if they talk about soul mission as much to portal guys or not. They don't have a lot of time with those guys.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little different because a high school kid, they haven't been away from home. Some of these guys transfer from our year 3. They're like, they've been there, done that. And that's why high school numbers and recruiting is so important. I agree, KB, that you got to have great high school recruiting, but also if you're going to play the portal game, you got to play the portal game. If you're losing this much in the portal and you got to go get players, you got to go get players. And you're not going to, you have to pay a decent amount to get some of these guys if you want them. Now, maybe they reach a limit. You're like, I'm not paying that much. And that's fair if that's what you don't want. I mean,
Chuck, you're saying that there's 2 guys they get offered equal money. I'm reading this. 2 guys get off the same exact offer from both schools, but they go to the other school, not OU. Why? Well, then I'd say, there's other decisions. I don't know who you're talking about. This is a hypothetical. I don't even know who the guys are. Who are the 2 guys? Is one closer to home? Is one possibly because of the conference they're in? There's a lot of variables. I would have to know who those 2 players are.
Hey, in my opinion, OU right now, they've lost a lot of players. Production-wise, it hasn't been too much off last year's team, okay? That's a fact. They've lost a lot of players, though. To me, it's like they should know maybe 3 or 4 position groups they really need to get players in, and go spend the money and overpay at those positions. If it's John Mateer, you got to land him. If that's the guy you really want, then you got to land him. If you're wanting the Rice offensive tackle and you love him and he's the guy you want, then you got to go get him.
Hey.
That's my thing. If you're trying to really play the portal and I think do what the portal can help you with, then you have to kind of overpay, man. I hate using the word overpay, but you have to.
Here's another tough one. I was actually shocked R. Mason Thomas said he's planning to play in the bowl game. I was shocked. So he says he's going to play in the bowl game and then give it a deep thought of what he's going to do next year. So if you're a coach, Jay, if you're in charge of NIL, if you're on the staff at OU, you got to think, okay, do we want R. Mason Thomas to come back? Yes. Well, we got to start having conversations with them on what it's going to take. It may take $1 million more.
Yeah.
So then you got to plan for that when you're offering other kids.
I agree, Jerm. But that's why you have all these guys that you hire to help do that, right? Hey, and Jen says, do you think Mateer wants to come? Here's what I know about Mateer. His coach at Washington State came out today and said he's taking this weekend. He's going to talk it over with his parents. He's going to decide what he wants to do. So I think by Monday, you'll know if he's portaling. And if he does, well, OU's got 2 things in their favor right now. They got Arbuckle and they got John Kusiewski, both guys that he's been coached by. That's it right now. That's what you have in your favor. And you got your play in the SEC. Okay. But he is going to be a heavily wanted man if he enters the portal. Mateer will be big time.
Yeah.
People will be going after him. So his rate's going to go up like this, man. It's just going boop, 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 boop. It's going to keep going up. What's that Price is Right game where the price just keeps climbing?
It's the mountain climber. It's great
is
music.
That where the price goes up?
Yodelay, hee-hoo, yeah. Lane says, facts, soon the NIL will have to be forced into contracts. Right now, it's on the school to lose everything with players running away. That is partly true, yes. Hey, Eric says you just got to be dirty. You can't be squeaky clean anymore these days. Well, there are some guys I think that are squeaky clean in the playoff. Boise State's coach, Clemson. And I don't know how many other schools. I'm never going to say OU's got to do things with no integrity. I will never say that.
I mean, there are
personally, I won't say it.
Yeah, there's people out there that do it, and the way this NIL is going, it's almost lending teams to try to do it that way, but if they're going to put limits on some of this stuff. But I don't know who Mateer would throw to, and I don't know that yet. I think they're going to get some guys.
Chester, I disagree with this comment. The fact that you are sitting here saying, and others, Mateer bust is a little bit shocking to me. The people that are saying Mateer is going to be the savior of OU's offense, that's risky, guys.
Why?
Jay, I I agree the fact that he knows the offense and that, but to act like this guy is far and away the best quarterback in the portal, he's not, is he? Far and away best quarterback in the portal?
Out of everybody who's entered? I don't talent wise. All I'm saying is I
just don't like the comment Mateer or bust, Jay.
Yeah, and I don't know if everybody saw it. Sounds like just from his Twitter, I guess Devon Mitchell is going to come back. It sounds like, right? Based off
Which
his
is
Twitter.
big. It's big, Jay.
Now, you don't know a whole lot with Twitter and how that works, but like maybe that doesn't mean anything. But
no, Grey God, he may be awesome next year. And I agree with Mez. He's the best quarterback probably for OU scenario because his OC and quarterback coach is there. All I said is I don't like it when people act like it's going to absolutely save the team. Like, that's a lot of pressure on the kid. Now, I've put pressure on a lot of people before. I will say this. His tutties are up. His tutties are way up there.
Yeah. To me, it's not even about I'm to the point with this portal stuff that, yeah, I know a lot of OU players have entered. I'm to the point where I just want OU to win a battle against somebody in the portal. That's what I want. I want OU to go toe-to-toe with somebody and beat them in the portal. That's what I want. That's what I want as an OU fan. If they go get a guy that nobody else was really fighting him for, that's fine. I want OU to go square to square with an Oregon, square to square with the Texas.
Square to square, toe to toe.
Yeah. Whatever, Jeremy. I don't care how you want to word it. I want them to
Square
go up
to
against
square.
I don't care, Jerm. Whatever. Toe to toe. I don't. Whatever you want to say, Jerm. I just want them to go and beat them at one of those games. And right now, I'm trying to think. In the first 2 years under the portal, who have they done that with? I'm trying to think. Top of my head.
Hey, there's Danny. Danny's wrong again. Hey, Danny, welcome to the show. I'm glad you could be on and be wrong again.
Well, they have to get some players.
They're going to get someone. They're going to get one in the portal. And at that point, that statement would be incorrect. I think it's time to open the phone lines, Jay.
Go for it. Beat them on one player. Dominique, thank you, Bobby. I knew somebody would drop it in here. They did win the Dominique Williams battle. That's great. Here's my thing, though, and I'm glad you brought that up. It seems like they do better with defensive guys in the portal. And maybe, hold off here. Maybe that's because you haven't had somebody on offense that really can evaluate as much as maybe Arbuckle is going to be great at that. And maybe he goes, evaluates guys, and they have some great guys come in there this year and really perform. Burks may come back, guys. Hopefully he does. Hey, let's get to Platoon.
Hopefully Burks and Kearney's back ready. Burks and Gibson. That would be huge.
Yeah. What's up?
We got Platoon 20.
Hey guys, I think we should push as hard as we can for Mateer. Yes, there probably are guys in the portal that are rated higher than he is, but what I look for is not just QB, it's QB coach combo, and I don't think there's any better out there than getting him with his OC who knows him well. Now, does that mean he's going to dominate the SEC? Maybe not. He might not be the savior or anything like that, and that's fine. But I think, if we have an NIL budget of X dollars, I think we should put, 30, 40, maybe 50% towards getting Mateer if that's what it takes, because I don't have as much hope if we get another guy, even if he's more talented, because he doesn't have the background with the OC and Arbuckle and all that kind of stuff. So I think we should push hard for him. I would be very disappointed if somebody else outbids for his services. And let's be honest, Mateer he's from Texas, he's from this area. He has connections here. We should not, I really don't think we should lose him to another program. If we lose another program, that's indicating to me that we didn't really try hard enough to get him, because we hold the edge on all the other teams. And so if we don't get him, it means that we just weren't willing to pony up. And if that requires, paying, $5 million, then let's pay $5 million. I think we should go for it.
Well, here's what I would say. I agree with what you said, that he's from Canadian Texas. It's closer to home. We should have the edge. OU should have the edge because of Arbuckle. Now, if they don't land him, I think it says a lot about Arbuckle too. I hate to say that, Jay.
Well, first off, he's got to enter the portal. He's not in there yet, but
it would say a lot about Arbuckle, I think, if you can't land him.
What's up, Chester? I know you got to go to work, so let's get you on here, man.
See, the problem is these other schools, they're transferring players for depth. We need transfers for starters.
Wait,
we're just so far behind.
On offense, you're right. On offense, you're correct. Not on defense.
Correct. That's just how far behind we are.
On offense, yes.
Yeah, I would agree. They need some guys to come in and start right away and produce.
And I have to say this. I'm sorry. I know we shouldn't do this, but I did my time in the Army, so I'll say whatever I want about it. Thank you all. Boomer Sooner for life.
Thanks, Chester. Hey, you can say whatever you want on here as long as it's clean, and that's fine. You can. That's some real stuff right there, Miguel says. Chester speaks the truth. Yes. Lost a lot on defense. They lost right now. Who have they lost on defense, Jay? You got Ethan Downs. I hope R. Mason comes back, because that would be massive. You got Stutzman, Bowman, and Downs are the three biggest ones. I mean, Hayden Wooler, Deshaun McCullough. Who am I missing, Jay?
That's,
I will say this. There's a lot of people on here who during the year said OU's better without Danny Stutzman.
well,
A
people
lot
like
of the
that.
people in the chat said
Yeah,
OU would be better without Danny Stutzman. That's
why are
funny.
you bringing that up? First team All-American. Like, why are you even bringing that up? Who cares?
Because now they're saying, well, they're losing Stutzman.
Who
I
cares?
thought they were going to be better without him. It's funny.
Yeah, who cares?
It's funny
Do you
how
think
people
Dolby will be back? Do you think Dolby will be back? Sears is the other one lost, but he didn't play a whole lot.
Dolby's not going pro.
I know that, but I'm saying with his injury, you don't know what you're going to get from him. So that's
if
the
he
one
comes
thing.
back, he can play corner maybe. If they can
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jerem. They just got to get better offensively. I think the defense will have players to be good again. It's the offense.
I don't think anyone's worried about the D. I'm not really I'm not concerned about the defense right now or the depth on defense.
Chuck, I just said on the phone call, he's not in the portal yet. I just said that. I don't know. I mean, until he does, yeah. I mean, we're talking as hypothetical here, but he's not. And Wood is the other one gone, but he's not in the portal yet. Maybe he will be after the weekend.
Hey, Danny, listen, first, I never said that. I've been so high on Danny Stutzman the entire year, bud. I was saying what people in the chat said. Danny Stutzman was great. Legacy player, outstanding season, moved his stock up. So don't put words on my mouth, man. Please do not put words on my mouth. Okay? You can say what you want. I'll let you, but don't put them in my mouth. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, first team All-American is great. That's all you can ask for. If you're any player in college, first team All-American, take it all day, every day. It's a great accomplishment. Kenneth says, I was talking to some people and they say we have nasty fans. You got to realize talking trash doesn't pay guys like the last caller with. Hey, Kenneth, real quick though. You know who does pay guys? A lot of fans do pay guys. And I don't know. I don't like seeing a lot of the stuff I see. I don't like on Twitter. I see a lot of stuff. I think it's silly for people to go after recruits behind a computer typing stuff in. I think that's pretty silly. But I also at the same time, I don't really know. I mean, I think every fan base has that, Kenneth. So I don't know what you want to say. I think every fan base has that.
Yeah. Hey, Hunter, I'm about ready to just. I'm not going to do it, so I'm not going to go there. Hey,
let's
you're
get
right.
to Bob.
How you can bash a first team All-American is ridiculous. Lori says hit the like, and we got Bobby Redwine on here.
What's up, Bobby?
How y'all doing tonight?
Good. You?
Good. Hey, do you think that we're in a direction of becoming maybe another Nebraska if we're not careful? Like if we kind of have another failed season, do you think we'll become, or people outside the program will think of us as another Nebraska?
I think, Bobby, I don't know what national people would think. I mean, heck, Colin Coward said it 2 years ago or last year. So there will be people say that. I just don't see in this world of college football how any team could stay down like Nebraska for that long. If all you got to do is change things and you could be right back up at the top. Look at Colorado, Bobby. Colorado in 2 years, they made Deion Sanders. They're paying money. Look what they're doing. I mean, I don't think Arizona State. I mean, so what having down years, does that not look good? Yeah, you're right. But I don't think it would keep Oklahoma down. I think you would have to make changes going forward if it continues, and then you see what you can do.
So we really just need to spend the money. That's the simple question. We need to spend money.
Here's what I think, Bobby. I think
more than that, probably.
I think Brent Venables in his 3 years, this was his worst recruiting class. He had really good recruiting classes his first 2 years. The high school ranks, changing the defense, all that's positive. What they haven't done great is the portal. And portal is like a big time part of college football. You have to win in the portal at some point, I think. That's just my opinion. I think you can't continue to go down the route and not win in the portal. You have to win some in the portal.
Kind of like it. Clemson never had big recruiting classes, did they? They always seemed to be 15 to 20.
Well, so no, they had some top five in there.
Oh, they did back when they were winning the
10 to 15. 10 to 15.
But they had a few top five too.
Okay.
But if you look at Brent Venables, the high school, it's been good. I think it's what have you done in the portal, and they haven't done very well.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So appreciate it. And good night.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, thanks to all the veterans who have served. I saw that in the chat. And I want to say something about Joe John Finley. I don't think Joe John Finley is going to be at OU next year.
I don't either. I wouldn't expect it.
I wouldn't expect him to be. He's going to go take an OC job.
Hey, and Downpost, you can count on that, but at the same time, here's what I would say. 6-6 Oklahoma. I mean, do you expect a whole ton of positive out of that? I mean, I think you would have a lot of negative stuff if that happens. Now, next year, if they run off a 9-3, I think there'll be a lot of positive stuff in here.
Abe, what have you heard from Joe John Finley? I've not heard him speak at all. I really think he wants an OC job. So if someone hires him, he's gone. He's not staying here. I think they'll push for him to get an OC job.
Well, there's been the talk about Odom at Purdue, but who knows? Who knows?
Positive. No, it is mostly about the money right now. In the portal, it's mostly about the money. I'm not changing that. When I say most, I didn't say all about the money. I think I said 10% program, 90% money. And that's coming from me, someone who doesn't know anything. So take it for what it is. Hey, one thing I'll say is, you guys that are in the chat, you don't have to take it from me that it's truth. I'm just stating my opinion because I'm a fan like you guys are.
Nobody says anything to Ma. He wears his OU gear proud. Jerm, you know what? Whether Joe John Finley's at Oklahoma or not, if he's the tight end coach, whatever. They just got to be better, man, offensively. Arbuckle's going to get them better. I think Arbuckle is a good hire. I think they're going to have score points next year.
Yeah,
but
I think they'll score points, but you got to have some receivers, Jay. I think they need to get Bradley and Hunter, Jay. We got to get someone.
Hey, phone lines are open, Chuck. Please tell me why I'm wishy-washy.
Yeah, Chuck, wishy-washy.
What are you saying? What am I saying that's wishy-washy? I mean, maybe I am. I'd like to be enlightened about it because maybe I am wishy-washy.
Yeah.
So, don't know.
James Franklin said it best today. You don't build programs anymore. You build a team from year to year to year. Hey, but if you don't build programs, why are we trying to build a program, Michael? That's my question for you, Michael. If building programs is outdated and it can't be done, why would BB be trying to do that?
Hey, let's get to John. What's up, John?
Hey,
what's going on?
not much. Hey, I got to say, I love Danny Stutzman. He's one of the best OU players I've ever seen. But he's not very good at defending the pass.
Well, that's something that he'll work on in the pros, I guess.
Well, first team All-American. I'm sure he does good in all aspects to be a first team All-American. But
okay, you can say that.
I would say if you want to say that's his weakness, maybe.
Oh, it definitely is. If you say it's not, then I can't argue with you except to say that it is his weakness. I love him. He's awesome. I wish he'd come back next year. I'm not saying anything bad about him.
How high you think he gets drafted? First round, second round?
No. Maybe third round.
I would be shocked. If he's not first or second round, I'm shocked.
Well, I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time, but
so am I.
You know, he reminds me of Teddy Lehman, but he's not as good as Lehman, from what I recall.
His speed, he doesn't have Lehman's speed. He does have the toughness. I would think, personally, I think he may be a little more physical. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch Lehman some more. I mean, I grew up watching Lehman. I love Teddy Lehman.
Yes, Lehman was awesome. Stutzman is awesome. I'm not saying it's not. Anyways, I don't know. What do you think next year's going to look like for us with all these portal transfers and all this?
I have no clue until I see what they bring in. Right now, they haven't got anybody out of the portal yet, so it's hard to have an opinion. Really, you've lost a lot of players. You haven't signed anybody yet, so I'm at a wait and see what happens. That's where I'm at.
I think it's the quarterback. I don't know if Hawkins is going to be the one.
I think Hawkins is really good. He could be really good. I don't know if year one in a new system with the new OC with that schedule is what you want for his sake. But hey, they're going to probably get 2 guys out of the portal. They lost Brandon Zerber too. So I don't know when it'll happen, but they're going to have to get some players.
I don't know. Is it all just because of the roster being reduced that all these people are getting out and they're trying to make room, or is it just
part of it? That's part of it. You have to get down to a certain number, but also there were guys that are just wanting to go play somewhere else. And it's not, I mean, it's happened in a lot of schools. It's not just OU, but OU's been kind of they've kind of been depleted on the offensive side so far in the portal. They've lost pretty much anybody you think might portaled. So
what worries me is the medical conditioning, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what the truth is on that, so I hate to speculate.
Yeah. If receivers are not confident in playing here and they're wanting to get out of here, how many of them are we going to be able to bring in? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm hoping Gibson and Burke stay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Gibson and Burke stay.
But yes.
John, thanks for the call, John.
Appreciate
thanks
the call, John.
Appreciate it.
Jay, let me say 2 things. One, I'm going to respond here just real quick because I'm even giving BV credit for the Stutzman thing. I'm just saying Stutzman was a first-team All-American. I've never said Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray weren't any good, Jay. I don't understand this comment saying comparing Lincoln Riley and what he did to what BV's done with Stutzman. I'm not even talking about BV. Not even talking about BV. Hey, Chris, I'm curious. How many guys have Texas signed, Jay? I haven't followed them very much.
I don't know.
Chris,
they didn't lose.
Chris, how many guys has Texas signed so far in the portal? I literally haven't followed it at all, so I'm curious.
Well, they got a visit, I think, this weekend coming in from the Georgia Tech wide receiver.
They got Singleton visiting,
Yeah. So.
And I'm just curious how many they've signed, Jay. That's all I'm saying. How many commitments they got?
I don't know. Not sure. I don't follow it that closely.
Trouser says 1. So,
yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. One punter.
They've gotten one punter. So that's I only asked that because before everyone starts saying OU hasn't gotten anyone, there's not a lot of teams that are dominating signees right now because they're waiting on some guys and guys are taking visits.
Yeah, and DJ brings this up. I heard this interview too, DJ. I loved what he said. And that's the type of guys I want on Oklahoma that want the competition. And that's why I think they need to bring in a quarterback, because I think you do have to have competition. Every player gets better if you have more competition. I don't know if any player that if you can't handle the competition, then you probably shouldn't be at Oklahoma. That's the way it should be. There should be a lot of competition.
Yeah, I would say go for 2 quarterbacks. One who's going to be a solid backup, third-teamer type guy. That's who I would say. Just a really good practice guy, scout team guy, and hopefully a starter.
I would wonder, too, how many players they need to get rid of to get down to that roster. I don't know how many they had to start the year.
So Booty's not going to come back when he's playing right now. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Brennan Thompson went to Mississippi State. That was quick. As soon as he already knew where that was. He was going.
And I hate.
Is he the only guy that's won somewhere for OU? Is he the only guy that's really signed? I'm trying to think. Maybe there was somebody. It seems like there was somebody else that already committed, signed somewhere else. But
yeah, I think Ole Miss right now is the one who's probably signed the most. They've signed 3. Jay. No, I want to say this because I talked to KB Longhorn today. Sounds like what Quinn Ewer said on something, and KB can correct me. It said basically squashing the rumors of him being in the portal or him coming back to college. He's going to go to the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jay, if they were to land Bradley and Hunter, the California receiver, and Jaron Bradley, how do you feel about those 2 guys and what OU would do with those two compared to what they lost with Anderson, Farouk, and Brennan Thompson.
I don't know, but I will agree with Bobby here because as far as production from last year, they didn't lose a whole lot. Now,
Production-wise, they didn't.
Potential-wise,
possibly.
Nick Anderson might have been really good next year. Who knows? But they didn't lose a whole lot of production. But it is very important that they go get players that will produce right away. I mean,
Ben,
I think
they can catch and they have really good size. I like both of those things.
And I think you do have, Emmett Jones and Jaron Bradley have a connection, so that's good. I don't really know what to think about wide receiver. I do know and I'm going to say this, if you have a quarterback and you have a offensive scheme that can scheme guys open, AKA under Lincoln Riley, there is plenty of receivers that weren't the most best. Lee Morris had a great year at Oklahoma. Okay. He was a walk-on. I mean, you could go down. There were players that weren't just NFL stud receivers that were doing fine, getting wide open because of the scheme. So I think that's the thing. Arbuckle brings a good scheme. If you get a quarterback to run the scheme, I think you can have players that maybe even on the team right now, some of these freshmen could have good years next year in a good scheme. They didn't have a scheme last year. They didn't have one for that receivers.
I do agree with Danny when he said Anderson's. I look, everyone knows how high I've been on Nick Anderson, but I'm going to say something too. Is fact of the matter is 2 of the 3 years he's been hurt.
Yeah.
His brother was elite and was hurt a lot. I mean, that's Jay. Caden Helms has not entered the portal yet. I think having him back is a good, in my opinion, at least. Maybe
if
see
he
what
plays
in the bowl game. I hope Mitchell and him both play, man. I just hope they do.
Yeah.
Jacob Jordan scholarship.
Good. He looked pretty good this year, I thought, when he played. So I think that's good. And I do love Elijah Thomas, ET. I think he is outstanding. He's going to be a great one at Oklahoma. Can he play year one? I think he can, actually. Defensive end from Stony Brook. Hunter can drop his measurables down there. To be honest, I haven't looked much about him. And maybe I need to. I just saw Stony Brook and I didn't look a whole lot about him. I need to go look him up to see kind of what he brings to the table. He's taken down 2 visits, right? Oklahoma. Who was the other one, Hunter? Maybe you can drop it in there. Oklahoma and somebody else is in on him.
Yeah. The comparing Elijah Thomas to Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith right now is a little bit.
I'm not comparing him. I'm not comparing.
No, I
him.
didn't say you were. I saw commenters.
Okay. I'm saying he can play this year.
I like Elijah Thomas a whole lot, but the comparisons, anytime there's comparisons, I think you're just doing a disservice to the kid. You're doing a disservice to the kid.
He's not going to give that many out. Oklahoma and Minnesota. There you go. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know anything about him, but OU, I want OU to go win a portal match against OU in Texas or OU in Oregon. I want them to win one of those. Can they?
I don't know, Jay. First, you have to be in a competition for the same player. There's no bidding war when you're not in a competition for the same player. Right now, I think there's teams coming after some of OU guys currently. That's the way it's going to be.
And I do agree there. I mean, there's guys on OU's roster that people are there winning battles over. I'd agree with that. But hey, I'm saying the guys into the portal.
Eric, I don't follow recruiting a lot. I do know who Elijah Thomas is. I think he's going to be very special at OU. Now, I'm not comparing him to Ryan Williams, but I mean, you said you don't know who he is, but he is. I think going to be really, really good.
He is, and I don't know what you can expect from year one or what, but
right.
Hey, it's all going to depend this year on this offense and the scheme that Arbuckle brings and who you get out of the portal. And right now, they haven't signed anybody yet. They will. I think maybe by this weekend they'll have 1 or 2 players. Michael says, Jay, we are losing 25 or so portal dudes. BB said he's adding 8 to 12. Where are the other scholarships? They don't have scholarships to give, Michael. Hunter, drop it in here or get on here if you want to explain it. I know you kind of went through the whole roster last night. You filled everything out. You got down to a number where they're at. You have a current number where they're at, Hunter. I know that. You told me. So maybe drop it in there if it's easier that way. But if he adds 8 to 12, I think he's going to be at his limit, if I remember, Hunter.
You're correct on that. So right now with Jacob Jordan getting a scholarship today, they have 9 scholarships. They filled 76. And that's saying nobody else on scholarship enters the transfer portal.
So they have 9 right now to give.
Correct. I think everyone here would agree that there's probably going to be a couple more scholarship guys to enter the portal. That's how it goes. But at this point in time, they're at 76. And right now, they're at 103 total players. So they want to fill those 9 scholarships. They're going to have to cut, 8 players, I think, to
they're going to cut some more. They're going to cut some more, correct. Because you can only be at 105, and you're at 103.
Right. You have to be at 105. So they will have to cut more players. I think that will happen at some point. Like, they're not going to finish with only 76 scholarships. They're going to have 105 players with 85 scholarships. That's what's going to happen. And I don't think they're just going to be giving out more scholarships to walk-ons on the roster right now. So maybe it's something of some of those guys are going to get to play in the bowl. That's part of it. I think for their sake, they should probably try to play in the bowl, but then enter the portal so that they could try to have somewhere to go. I mean, you're seeing it right now with Kenny Wormy. He's getting offers from D2 and JUCOs in the area, all that, which is great for him. But, I mean, that's going to be the case for some of the guys, or lower level G5s or low P4s for some of them. Maybe they can find a scholarship. I think on their side of things, they should probably get in there sooner rather than later so that they can get their name out there, because teams aren't going to wait around for somebody like that. Everyone's trying to fill their scholarships and trying to fill their roster limit right now. So. And
Michael's asking, how's it possible? There are 76 scholarship players with 25 scholarship players in the portal and 15 or so graduating, and only 18 coming in from this class. No, those numbers don't add up. I don't know what Michael's saying there.
I could be wrong, but I went through.
No, I think you're right. I saw it somewhere else too. I think you're right.
I went through my list. I looked it over multiple times, making sure everything's right. I mean, you have, I think as of right now, my number of guys that have declared for the draft out of eligibility or entered the portal is at 42 for Oklahoma. You had 20 guys coming in, 18 on scholarship coming in. So that would sound about right.
It's right. It's correct.
Bobby says you're accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. So appreciate that. All the people that are saying other schools like Texas and people aren't losing people. Every school is losing people. Every school is going to lose people. It's just OU's receiver room is a ghost town right now.
Texas is down to 6 scholarship defensive linemen right now.
Is that accurate?
Defensive tackles. That's just what he says. Yeah.
It's the way of the world right now in college sports, Jay, specifically football.
It is. I mean, what's the best scenario for winning? I mean, you got to be good at all of it. I think you cannot be a team that any one of the things, portal, NIL, high school recruiting, those 3 things, you can't be bad in one of those, you're in trouble. Would you agree? You got to be good in every one of those, or you can't. I don't think you can beat the championships.
Gregory says Mississippi State lost 23 players, and they've actually, they've
already signed 6. They've already signed 6.
They've signed 6. Brennan Thompson. The state of Mississippi State and Mississippi's got 9 or 10 guys signed in the portal. Levy and Kiffin getting some stuff done early.
Yeah, they are.
I do think the Brennan Thompson relationship with Lebby. I mean, Lebby's got some guys he's coached that he's kind of, I think, going to get, and Arnold may be one of them.
Yeah. And I don't know how many players Texas has on their roster. I don't know that answer. I don't follow them as closely as OU. So I wouldn't know the answer to that. Who knows? Maybe they do get Mateer. John, maybe we find out something after this weekend that maybe he's going to enter the portal. It has to do that first. Right now, he has not entered the portal. So until that happens, and Gregory says Arnold's on campus. Here's the thing. They got rid of Van Buren's gone. They have to get a quarterback. To me, it's either going to be Arnold. I would think they would probably try to get Arnold, but who knows? So
Shapen is staying. Blake Shapen.
And he could be your quarterback. That's right. He could be. Listen, Mississippi State's going to do Mississippi State. I mean, I don't ever see them going and making the playoff or anything. Just don't see it happening. You got to remember, guys, too. Yeah, this is what I think sucks about the whole situation is for teams like Texas and all those teams that are still playing meaningful football, the portal is whack for them. I hate it. I hate the timing of it. I don't know what else you do, though, but it sucks for teams that are still playing meaningful football.
Hey,
I mean, it really does.
I got a trivia tonight. As we said earlier, trivia time coming, but as we said earlier, just tragic news about Jimmy Wilkerson passing away. Carl Albertson, the state title game tomorrow night, where he coached at. Just very, very sad news. Thoughts and prayers to the Wilkerson family and all those who knew him closely. Trivia tonight. What team did he get drafted by in the NFL, Jay? And what was his number at OU?
Wait, is that both?
Got to put both in the chat.
Yeah, I know that. That's easy. Trivia.
It's easy, but I wanted to recognize Jim KC, but you need to put both in the chat, Ron. Yeah, everyone's putting what number did he wear at OU? That's what I'm saying. Look, there it is. Clement Akufo, Kansas City Chiefs drafted him. Wore number 45 at Oklahoma. I'll never forget number 45 getting to the quarterback so often. A great first step.
Didn't he make wasn't he on a cover of Sports Illustrated once? I can't remember. I thought he was. I think he was.
Anyway, thoughts and prayers out to the Wilkerson family.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What do you got this weekend, Jay? It's Army Navy.
Army Navy.
Sooners get a commit.
Hunter, jump on here. What is it? What's going on?
I'm sure it's the running back.
Punter from Kennesaw State.
Jacob Ulrich. And we're tied up with Texas. Both Texas and OU have signed a punter.
Well,
hey, he may be the busiest guy on the team this year. Elzinga was.
Well, that's true. Punter yawn.
Who would have thought OU and Texas's first commit out of the portal were punters?
Do you think they paid NIL for that?
Everyone gets paid NIL.
No, they don't.
Hey, everyone that's saying you got to be kidding me, Texas did the same thing. So,
yeah, but let's hope Oklahoma gets some.
It is what we need. Elzinga was the best player on our team.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, man.
I was being facetious.
Elzinga had a great year, man. Auburn or Mississippi State? Where does Arnold end up, Jump? Right now, if you had to pick.
Mississippi State. The Lebby connection's too strong, Jay.
Oh, Lane's dropping a trivia. This is old trivia. I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Jay, we were 6 years old in '83.
Why are you telling people my age?
Sorry, man. I'm trying to think.
Might have thought I was 25, Germ.
Trying to think who would have played.
Why do you tell people how old I am?
After Dupree, when Dupree was gone. I'll know the names, but
I don't know the answer to that.
It's facetious. Facetious. Look it up.
Chuck says the first domino has fallen. Came walk from here. Not sure what you're.
Can walk from here, maybe. Maybe that's what he meant. 6'5", 45.4 yards per punt. Spencer Tillman, I thought it was 85. Someone says Spencer Tillman and Earl Jones.
Lane, when you see the answer, drop it in. That's a good
Tillman will be right. Tillman was in the mid-80s. Stanley Wilson.
Is the OU guy an Aussie? There are a lot more Aussie punters these days, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess I didn't get something, Jay. Kind of hard. There's a lot of chats on here. No, he's from Georgia.
I saw a little rumbling today that Carson Beck might come back too.
The amount of money they're getting paid, Jay, why leave?
Well, I think that's probably what you're going to have happen is guys stay longer in college because they can get paid money. Now your elite draft picks will go, but Heisman this weekend. Jeremy Heisman tomorrow night. Who's winning it right now? Pick. Go.
I think Genty's winning it.
I think Travis Hunter's going to win it. They've set it up for Travis Hunter. I mean, you think about it. Didn't he win the Biletnikoff and the defensive back award both?
Yes.
So it's kind of setting up for Hunter, I think.
I mean, it's setting up, and he's plenty deserving, Jay.
Is Travis Hunter better than Dion?
He plays both ways more than Dion did. So I think Dion was made bigger plays, I think. And you have to see Hunter in NFL first.
Yeah.
Before you can say that.
Yeah.
So
Dion, I'm a big Cowboy fan. Dion, what he did in the NFL, I don't know if you'll
He
ever
also
see
ran punts back, Jay.
I don't know if you ever see a cornerback play like him in the NFL again. I know Richard Sherman was really good too. Spencer
Tillman and Earl Johnson both had 1,000-yard season, with Johnson gaining 247 against Colorado.
Oh, there it is. It's Tillman and Johnson. So there you go. Hey, that's a good trivia, Lane. Oh, and he did not win the Thorpe. I thought he did. So they didn't set it up for him. So he didn't. So who knows? Yeah. Maybe Genty wins it. Rob, Sooner Surge Unlimited member, I believe, Rob, maybe, says not even as good as Woodson.
Yeah, he's better than Charles Woodson.
You don't see punt returns anymore, kick returns anymore. It's kind of sad.
Nope, you don't.
Is it because the punters are better? I think so.
I think punters are better. There's more hang time, and then kickers are definitely kicking on the end zone more. Hey, thanks everyone for being here tonight. It is the weekend. We will be on here both nights like we always are because we seldom miss. So 9:30 live shows both nights. If the Sooners get a commitment, we'll highlight that with a video probably. But visits are coming around the corner, hopefully, and hopefully the ghost town gets filled up a little bit. Before you exit this, please hit the like. It helps our channel, helps the algorithms. Hit the like. Maybe even give us a comment here before you get off here. We really do appreciate you. This is a fan show by fans for the fans, and we do this every night. We'll catch you next time. Have a super Saturday.